extreme hunger in Sudan. Why? Well, since 2023, a civil war broke out between Sudan's army and a group called the Paramilitary Rapid Support Forces, in cahoots over country rulership after the fall of dictator Omar al-Bashir. SAF, led by General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, and the RSF, led by Mohammed Hamdan Dagalo, once allies, now in heated war. The cause. Now, the effect is that 2 out of every 5 citizens in Sudan are in plain crisis, not able to feed themselves, and a staggering 135,000 people that are in IPC Phase 5. This means acute malnutrition, and according to IPC fact sheets online, one of the qualifications for this title is that there should be at least 2 deaths for every 10,000 people per day. The other 19.5 million are in Phase 3 and IPC Phase 4. Why is this happening? Ever since the war broke out, the farmers have fled, the people have fled, the farms, cities were turned into battlefields, and honestly, no one in their right mind would want to stay in these zones where war broke out completely with it's a complete armed war. You know, it's like if, you know, Republicans and Democrats started to war here in Dallas. And there's bombs going off. I mean, God forbid, but that's technically what's happening over there. You wouldn't want to stay in your city. So they fled. While the people fled, the RSF and the SAF began to block all humanitarian aid into these areas, seize the areas with farmland, with animals, which they stole or killed. You know, 3 years of this is the reason why the system is collapsing in Sudan, and it's so grave. The people can't do anything about it. What are they gonna do? They don't have weapons, they don't want to be a part of it. So they fled, and they've only been able to rely on the aid that they can receive in certain areas where the war is not going on. So this systematic collapse is due to farmers, warehouse workers, delivery drivers fleeing, while the SAF and RSF are seizing grain stores, flour mills, food warehouses, humanitarian aid en route. They'll block it and loot that aid. So since people are not working, they fled their jobs, they fled their homes. They're not making money. And the food prices have skyrocketed 500 to 1,000%. I mean, imagine. That's like $500 for a gallon of milk. What? Maybe, probably more. So these 19.5 million people, 20 million, are majority living off of one meal every 2 or 3 days. Honestly, there's so much going on around the world, but it leads you to ask yourself some very important questions. You know, how does the idea of weaponized starvation change the way you would view this crisis? What part of this crisis stands out most to you, and why? Where's the justice? And the final question, that's probably one of the most important questions, is why do other global crises receive more attention than others. Something to think about. Because ultimately, everyone has inherent value, especially how us as a Christian culture believe that we have value. Why do some crises get more attention than others? I mean, you tell me. Linking my Reddit, talk to me about it in the comment section, talk to me about it on Reddit. I don't know what to say. We'll see what happens in the future and how Sudan's country continues. It's a lot going on, guys. See you the next one.